Hey everybody, John with Vynyly here, and today I am finally getting around to repairing my Technics turntable dust cover. My Technics SL-230, it's a 1979 unit. I bought it refurbished, but it suffers from the same problem that so many Technics turntables suffer from, and that the little tongue that should be here on the end of this hinge has broken off. This is the piece that fits down into the receptacle on the turntable itself that lets you open and close the hinge. People have probably, over the years, not been super careful with these. Throw them open, slam them down. So a lot of Technics turntables have this issue where the plastic is broken off. It's just brittle plastic. So I got these replacement hinges from a guy online who 3D prints these. And the reason I got this particular one, as you can see, it will kind of sandwich onto the dust cover. And we're going to have to remove all of this material to mount this new hinge. So I like that this will sandwich the dust cover in between so that all of our repairs is hidden. This is not... once we take all that material off of there, it's not going to be as clear and polished as the rest of the dust cover. But this will hide our repair, and it'll be a nice solution. It'll be a more elegant solution. It'll look clean. So here's the technique. We've got to remove all of this material, make it nice and smooth, place the new hinge, mark the holes, drill the holes, mount the new hinge. Sorry I'm being so loud with this dust cover. So let's take a look at the materials we're going to need to do this job. Alright, so here are the materials we're going to use for this project. Dremel multi-tool with a cutoff wheel here. Wear eye protection when you're using these. They tend to shatter and go all over the place, which is why they sell them in these little containers of 36. It's because they tend to break. Also going to use a little sanding wheel to polish off the rest. Once we get the majority cut off with the cutoff wheel, we'll use the sanding tool to get the rest. Then I've got Sharpie here to mark the hole placements, 3/16 inch drill bit to drill the holes, and then tools over here to mount the new hinges. I'm doing all of this on like an old rag, just so the cover doesn't slide around with me. So it doesn't slide around on me. Masking tape to protect the parts that we don't want to affect with the multi-tool. And I'm using my Relano multi-LED light. Here you go. This is great for projects like this. I finally found a use for this thing. All right, let's get started. Alright, so I didn't bore you with the taping process, but you can see I just threw some tape on here to protect the area around the material that we will be cutting off. And I'm not a professional, so if you got a better way, if you have a better way to tape, just let me know. Alright, so we're going to use the multi-tool to begin to cut off the majority of this plastic. let me be the first to tell you, I am not great with the Dremel, but I got it off. I got some shrapnel here. Look at this. I only broke one disc, but I got all of the where is it? There it is. Got the material off, the old hinges off. It's not super smooth, but luckily the new hinges will hide hopefully all of this. Just take your time with the Dremel. I'm not good at it either, but if you just take your time and take off a little bit at a time, you'll be fine. Just remember the old rule. You can always take more off, but you cannot put it back unless you want to melt this stuff down. All right, let me fit the hinges on here and we'll take them out to the turntable, get them spaced. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move these hinges into place, and I can still adjust them. They're not screwed in yet. I'll adjust them so that they are centered on the dust cover. Now that I've got the positioning generally right, I'm going to go ahead and slide the tongues into the receptacles there, and holding the hinge, lower the cover, because these hinges are under pressure, and since the hinges, the new tongues are not permanently installed, you want to be careful, make sure they don't pop out. Now that we've got the holes marked there and there, I'm going to go ahead and drill those holes. Now, you do want to be careful with plastic. Let the drill do the work. Don't be pushing on this thing. In fact, I've already got a, let me try to get it in here. I have a little crack already in my thing. Nothing I did, it came that way. But I gotta be real careful when I drill the hole next to that crack. So let's see what happens. Okay, so I did a dry run and I discovered that the holes, I used a 3/16 inch drill bit. They were just a little bit too small. I didn't want to crack the plastic, so I went ahead and used a conical bit on the Dremel and just enlarged those just a little bit. So let's go ahead and see how the hinge fits. Looks pretty good so far. Here's the hardware that comes with the kit. You get 4 screws, 4 nuts, and the 2 hinges. And the nuts, you'll use a number 8 metric box wrench. And for the nuts, you'll need a number 3 hex key. All right. And you don't want to really torque down on these. You just want them to be nice and snug. Remember, if they're a little bit loose, they come loose. You can always come back and retighten them, but be careful because all of these parts are plastic. All right, that should do it. All right, so let's see if this thing fits. Pretty good. Way better than what I had when I started. Okay, so to recap, generally pretty easy job. Remove the old hinge material, position the new hinges, drill the holes, mount the new hinges. The relatively simple, although I still ended up with bits of plastic in my hair. The dremeling part was the scariest part For me, I'm not very good with the Dremel. I don't use it a lot, but I still did okay, and it still looks pretty good, and it works perfectly. So I'll leave a link in the description to the exact hinges that I used. Remember, those are 3D printed. They're plastic, which is fine because they hold both inside and outside of the dust cover. There are metal ones you can get. I could not find metal ones that held inside and outside. The metal ones typically are just an L shape, and those will work great too. If you prefer metal, that's great. So anyway, thanks for watching this craziness, and I will see you next time.